What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Now today we have to once again throw out a massive spoiler warning. We are looking through some items that are coming in Phase 2 that have been data mined so far, and the thing is there's no articles about this. You have to go in and basically find the items by yourself, which is exactly what we have done. You can do this on Wowhead by using certain filters when you're searching for items, which I will show you today. Now many of these items will help you make a lot of gold. They have, for example, data mined the wayward supplies that are coming out in Phase 2. We have a bunch of craftable items through blacksmithing, enchanting, engineering, alchemy, you name it, where we can see the materials required for those recipes. So by buying some of these items right now, you can make a lot of gold ahead of time. By buying what's needed in Phase 2, you can buy them right now, cash in when people need them in Phase 2 as well. I do want to say that if you want to make more gold in Season of Discovery, including early access to 11 videos planned for Phase 2, you can get access to all of that by having my ultimate Classic WoW gold making guide. You get a 134 pages long document containing everything I personally know about gold making. We have gold farms, investments, flipping on the auction house, professional gold making, pretty much like many different categories in one place. And it's packed full with gold making information that I've gathered over the years of playing this game. In addition to that, you get early access to videos containing gold making info for Season of Discovery. For example, we had 20 videos in Phase 1 in early access that you guys get ahead of time, like 2, 3, 4 days early before they go public. That way, if it's a farm, you can farm the farm before it becomes very known by absolutely everyone, and if there's investments, you can buy them before they're public as well. And we're doing the same thing for Phase 2. We have 11 videos planned for Phase 2, like a video series kind of when Phase 2 launches, telling you guys where to farm while leveling at max level, how to make gold, investments, and so on. All of that you can have early access to before Phase 2 comes out. Either way, if that sounds interesting to you, the links to that will be down below. You will get yourself a good gold making product, make more gold in the game, and support me at the same time. Once again, links will be down below. Now, I think I've given a spoiler away, so if you don't want to go into Phase 2 knowing about these items, please click away. Once again, if you want to go in blind, this is not the video for you, but here we go. So on Wowhead, here's what you can do. You can go on to Classic Items, so you can basically go to News, Database, Items, and then you can click on Items. From here, you can click on the Added In patch. We did this before Season of Discovery came out, so we knew what was coming in Phase 1 before Phase 1 came out, and here we have the brand new patch that is on the PT Season of Discovery 15.1. By scrolling down right now, you have to apply the filters, of course. Now you can see all of the items that are data mined so far in Season of Discovery Phase 2. So I'm not going to go through all of these items incredibly in depth because there are 374 items. I'm going to be focusing on items that have gold making value, that we can, for example, see the wayward supplies and craftable items through professions as well. But I will skim through pretty much everything. So we have primitive drawing, which is a quest item. We have some runes. We have soul vessel, never ending soul vessel. And look at the schematic, by the way, for soul vessel. This is for engineering 205. And what's important to note here is it requires Shadow Gem 4, which means that you want to have 4 Shadow Gems for this item. You're not going to be farming that too much in Phase 2, but in Phase 1 we're getting these all the time. They're very cheap right now on the auction house. You could buy them and make some gold. The only thing is they're about 5 silver each, right? So if they jump to, let's just say they jump to 50 silver, you're making 45 silver per item, which might not sound like much, but it's a 10 times profit margin. So instead of thinking about how much gold you make per item, think about it in margins. In this case, 1000% profit margin, or 10 times profit, right? We have the Tattered Note, which is once again a quest item. So we have a couple of items starting quests. We have some items as well coming from the raid, right, that we've already talked about. We have spell notes used for a quest as well, for a rune in that case. Basilisk, should the petrification be feared. This might be an item required for a rune. Then we have the copper blood coin. You can transmute 100 of them into 1 silver coin. You have silver coins. You can convert 100 of those into 1 blood coin. And this is basically the currency used in Strangleton Vale. And I'm really happy about that because I talked about this for a long time. I was hoping that the Strangleton Vale event was called, like the currency was blood coins. So I'm really happy, like either they listen to me or it's just like great minds think alike. And the blood coins really just make sense because we had a bead juice back in Classic WoW, which was kind of a coin, and yeah, just makes sense. I'm really happy to see we're getting blood coins, and the whole copper, silver, and blood, gold kind of tells you that you might be able to get different tiers from either different ranks of PvP, or maybe you get coins from the bosses as well. I don't really know. Then we have a bunch of raid items that I have already talked about in my raid video, like covering all the items coming in the raid. So we're going to skip through those and go to the next spot. We have a lot of them once again that we have already covered. Once again, every single one here we have already covered. Then we have a faintly glowing leather. This is from leatherworking, so I'm going to put this up on a second tier here. We have irradiated leather scraps, crate of tainted iodine solution. Then we have insulating iodine, reflective scrap metal as well. We have a bunch of new recipes coming for every single profession, and it could be really interesting to see what they require in order to make. So for this page, I have taken every single item here that you can see that is like a material, thrown it up in a second tab, and we can look at everything required to make those. It's not really that interesting. There's a bunch of brand new materials. Like, in order to make faintly glowing leather, you have to have something called irradiated leather scraps, but you also need cured thick hide. So thick hides could be really important in this phase, especially for leatherworking. We have the same thing once again, irradiated leather scraps. You need to have a regular... Well, apparently you still need to have them. No, yeah, reagent 4. So they're using this one with cured thicket hide. The only question is, how do you actually get this? Like, maybe it's a skinnable item from the raid. I don't really know. It's called irradiated leather scraps, and they were talking about something about irradiation inside the raid. But yeah, maybe skinners can somehow skin something inside the raid, or it's just a rare item that you get while skinning as per usual. If so, then skinning could be really good in phase 2 by getting green and blue type of leather that both look like they're sellable. Then we have crate of tainted iodine solution. You can see what that's a reagent for, but we can't see how it's made. It says a skilled alchemist may be able to fashion this into something useful. We can't see how you get this or how you make this, but you can see what it's used for, and you have to have 5 of them to make insulating iodine, which is used for a bunch of stuff. As you can see here, this is created by making this from alchemy, as we just talked about. 200 skill required as well, and by going to reagent 4, you can see it's used in every single epic item. If I just put this one a little bit more this way, you can see once again you need 1 of these, actually maybe more than 1, but you can see insulating 1, 1, 1 and 1, so you need 1 of them for every single epic. And you can also see that every single epic also needs the faintly glowing leather, even the tailoring one. So they're really focusing on the whole kind of cooperation between professions, which I'm personally really happy about. We have the reflective scrap metal. You can see what that's a reagent for right here, and you can see we need a bunch of true silver bars, which makes me think maybe miners will be able to smelt these, because usually you have to have an alchemist to transmute these bars or find them from chests, because from mining right now, you in phase 2 with 2 to 5 skill plus 5 from the helmet and all the plus things you get, you can mine true silver ore, but you can smelt it, so it's really weird. But because all of the mining stuff requires true silver bars, I'm kind of thinking they might allow us to smelt true silver. Then we have this one also created by true silver bars, right? We have the unstable microfilament requiring bolts of mage weave, so if you have invested into these, it could really pay off. We have that's needed in the hyperconductive arcanofilament, which was also used in the epics. As we can see right here, this one is created by 2 bolts of mage weave, and it's a requirement in every single epic once again, plus it's a requirement in this one right here, the reflective true silver brain cage, and the tempered interference negative helmet or negating helmet. Then we have pile of tarnished gears. As you can see, once again, true silver bars required as well with this one. So a bunch of true silver bars are actually required for a bunch of the crafts, which to me that's actually kind of interesting. We have a couple more items here, grime encrusted salvage, which I'm guessing just by the name, we don't really have too much information about this one, but I'm guessing by the name that engineers might be able to scrap metal, like scrap stuff, from the, what are they called again? From the mechanical units inside Normrigan. So if you have engineering, you can make more gold from doing the raid and scrapping or salvaging basically from those mechanical units. We have hybrid haunch. This one is bind on picked up. We have another one bind on picked up, so not really that interesting here, but they're probably items used in gathering the brand new runes. So hybrid haunch, we have smuggler's spice blend, we have balmy brew and vicious venom. You can kind of start thinking about who's using what here, like brew and venom. I'm kind of thinking about a rogue here when it comes to especially venom, right? kind of makes sense. And then this one could be pretty much anything. Hybrid Haunch, I'm kind of personally thinking about Hunter here when it comes to this one, so it could be something used in a Hunter specific rune, which could be important if you're part of a Discord trying to get all the runes as soon as possible. We have Tear of Terradras, kind of indicates how you get this one, right? We have another one, Tear of Terradras, we have Vial of Crystal Water, and we have Elemental Salve. That are also 2 brand new items, and a couple of new idols. We have some spell notes once again for mages as well, right? We have Strong Harpy Feather, unique 10. Let's just keep going. There's a bunch of really interesting items here that we have never seen before. They have gone out of their way to make so many brand new items for phase 2, and personally I'm really happy about that. Like, we have brand new formulas right here. Formula Enchant Weapon Dismantle teaches you how to permanently enchant a weapon to do 10 additional physical damage and up to 25 additional damage with spells to mechanical creatures. And we also have the formula for Enchant Chest Restrictioner, which basically teaches you to permanently enchant a chest of, or a piece of chest armor to reflect 9 damage back to the attacker when the bearer is struck in melee. So perfect for tanks, but even like anyone. If you're a farmer as well, like Gold Farmer, that's actually huge to have. And if you just put these up, you can see what you need to make this as well. So Dismantle, for example, you need to have 1 Lesser Mystic Essence and 2 Large Fangs, bringing in even more of a demand for Large Fangs. And also Small Glowing Shard, which I'm guessing you will get in abundance from Disenchanting Blues from Gnomeregan. Then we have this one right here, the Retricutioner. Okay, yeah, so we have Small Radiant Shard, Dream Dust, and Elixir of Demon Slaying required to make that one as well. And we've already talked about everything else on this page, basically. Yeah, everything else here has been talked about so far. And now we get into the really cool stuff for me, that is the Waylaid Supplies. Now, for these, there's no real point in clicking on them, because the tooltip is kind of difficult and to read, and it's like weird. As you can see, this is a Waylaid Supplies for gold bars, and it says add 20 copper bars. So we can't really find out how many gold bars we need for this specific one, but we can see it requires gold bars. We just don't know how many of them, but we can use the actual numbers from phase 1 to kind of indicate how many we need. But we have, for example, you can see what's needed here from phase 1 into phase 2. So gold bars will definitely be needed quite a bit in phase 2 and had pretty much no demand in phase 1, and it's an investment I made a video about 2 weeks ago where I talked about me investing into a bunch of gold bars, because once again they were so close to vendor price, and I bought about 200 of them because once again they were really cheap and there was no point in not purchasing them. I bought them as a highly speculative investment for phase 2, and so far it's looking like it's going to pay off quite a bit. We also have heavy hides, which have been really cheap on the auction house, and you can see they are used in a supply chest in this case, but we can't really see how many. We also have thick leather being used, but that's going to be supplied so much in phase 2 that it's not really that important. Same thing with Fade Leaf and Cadger's Whisker, they will be on high supply when phase 2 comes out. As we can see, we're also requiring a bunch of potions, so greater healing potions, lesser stone shield potions, and even elixirs of agility. These ones will already be in demand because they're used by every single melee plus agility users in raids as a consumable, so this one will be on high demand, especially now when it's used in a supply chest at the same time. We can also see Massive Iron Axe, Green Iron Bracers, elixirs of greater defense, heavy mithril gauntlets, solid grinding stones, compact harvest weaver kit, big iron bombs, deadly scopes also being used, mithril blunderbuss, gnomish rocket boots, goblin mortars, barbaric shoulders, guardian gloves, turtle scale bracers, dusky belts, frost leather cloaks, shadow skin gloves, formal white shirts, and crimson silk pantaloons. And keeping up here, we have rich purple silk shirts, white bandit mask, soothing turtle bisque, spider sausage, heavy silk bandage, so silk cloth is going to be in demand still. We have rock scale cod and fire oil. Now the thing here is that you know this will be in demand when phase 2 comes out now, so you can start buying things that are used in all of these recipes. For example, I just talked about the gold bars, I have bought quite a few of those. We also have quite a few heavy leathers that I'm buying myself, and we have this one right here, Soothing Turtle Bisque, which uses turtle meat, and we're getting so much turtle meat right now by doing BFD. So turtle meat has been selling for between 1 and 2 silver each, and now that it's used in a Waylaid supply, I'm guessing they're going to absolutely skyrocket. I would say 10 silver plus each. for turtle meat, as an example. We also have the spider sausage, heavy silk bandage, and even rock scale cod. Like spider sausage and rock scale cod you could make so much profit with, it could be crazy. We also have a brand new item called Gnomer Fallout, which is a tradable item, and I'm guessing it's dropping from Gnomer. The only question is, will everyone be able to get this, or is it something you salvage with engineering? I'm kind of hoping it's salvageable with engineering, but the thing is that everyone's going to have engineering now and try to salvage. It's going to be a mess unless you like give one person the job to salvage and you basically spread the loot out. At the end we have something called a high yield radiation bomb for engineers as well, and this one requires engineering to use but is in fact tradable. If you like, you can make it and trade it, but you have to have engineering to use it. As you can see, this one inflicts 150 to 250 fire damage to those in the blast radius, plus even more nature damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. Also reduces the movement speed of the affected targets by 25% for 10 seconds. We have the actual easy throw kind of version as well. So easy throw radiation bomb inflicts fire damage to those in the blast radius, plus an additional 10 nature damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. Also, once again, reduces movement speed by 25% for 10 seconds. So we have a bunch of brand new items that we haven't really seen before. We have the Broken Hammer starts a quest, we have the World Shrinker, which I'm guessing is once again engineering item, and keeping going here we have a bunch of items from the raid that we have already seen, and we have some warrior specific kind of items that we haven't really seen, but these are epics you're getting from the brand new PvP events. We can go through those as well really quick. So these will not really be that relevant for gold making, but they're going to be really relevant if you want to have the best gear you can, and it's epics that we haven't really covered yet. So as you can see, they're unique equipped with Blood Moon 1, so you have to pick one epic per class that you are using, so one Blood Moon epic. As you can see, Sanguine Crusher for warriors, absolutely insane on this one, level 40 epic. We also have a one-handed version, level 40 epic once again, and a different version with a main hand in this case, and plus stamina, I'm guessing a tank version. We have Druid Enchanted Sanguine Grimoire, we have the Blood Bark Crusher. This one looks absolutely insane, and it could be interesting. This one versus the Automatic Proud Pummeler, there could be some kind of versions here where you can swap back and forth as well, or maybe one is Biss in certain scenarios, and another one is Biss in a different scenario. We have the Blood Bonded Grove Talisman, so it's interesting how not everything here is a weapon. The feral one is a weapon, two-hander obviously. We have this one which is a held in offhand, and we have a trinket. The trinket instantly heals target ally for 300, but also sacrifices your own health in return after 2 seconds. For shamans they have something called a Bloodstone Barrier, so that's a shield. They have a Bloodstorm War Totem, as you can see right here, two-handed as well, really cool. And shamans only, chance on hit to knock the target silly for 2 seconds. And they have something called Bloodstorm Duel, which is basically the same thing for druids, but it's shamans in this case. For paladins they have Eclipsed Moonlight Saber. This one looks like it's for holy, maybe even tanks, but holy or tank. Then we have this one right here, the Bloodlight Crusaders Radiance. That's a trinket in this case, and it's looking like that's for DPS, like that. Yeah, that's going to be for DPS, or alternatively this one could also be for DPS. The Bloodlight Avengers Edge, 40.42 in damage per second, bunch of strength, bunch of stamina, and increases damage done by all holy spells and effects by up to 24. For warlocks, this is my class, Umbral Blood Seal, we have 8 stamina, 8 intellect, and shadowed spells damage done by 14. We have the same one for fire, so Infernal Blood Coil Band, giving us a fire spell damage instead, and we have the Infernal Pact Essence. Your pet gains 20 stamina and 80 intellect. Ooh. Okay. 80 intellect for the pet. If you're going with like the big boy, like the machine gun kind of pet for the imp, that could be huge. That's 800 mana. That's a lot more cast for the pet in that case. Unleash a delayed explosion of blood and fire, causing shadowplay damage to all targets within 10 yards. Warlocks can be so insane for AoE now. Think about this, you're using Lake of Fire, or Rain of Fire for Lake of Fire, then you're using Immolation Aura, then Shadow Flame, and then you're using Hellfire, and then you can use this trinket as an explosion towards the end as well. Holy, that's going to be so much damage. For mages, they have the same thing, kind of like a ring, once again, giving them arcane damage and stamina and intellect. They have one for fire and one for frost, once again giving them plus 16 of their respective magic spell. For hunters, you have Tiger, Blood, Talisman. This one increases your pet's critical strike chance by 1%, and your pet's critical strike or hit causes you to become energized, granting you 5 mana. I'm hoping it's more than 5, but I'll take 5. Then they have a quiver as well, increasing range attack speed by 14%. I do believe that's the maximum they can get at this level. They also have an ammo pouch doing the same thing, and they have something called the Blood Lash Bow. This one is looking like it's supposed to be for melee, because as you can see, chance on hit to increase strength by 50 for 15 seconds. Going further down the list, we also have priests. They have something called Sanguine Sanctuary. That's the healing trinket, once again healing someone for 300 and sacrificing your own health. They also have a finger, or like a ring in this case, stamina, intellect and spirit, and increases the healing done by spells by up to 13, and they have one for shadow damage, giving you 14 spell power in the shadow spell school. They have, for rogues, we have Blood Harvest Blade, that's a one-handed dagger. They also have fist weapons, or they have off-handed dagger as well, so you have to pick one of these and stick with that one. But I guess you can actually, you can only have one of them equipped, but you can have multiple, which means that some of them might be better in certain scenarios, and some might be better in different scenarios. For paladins, they also have the same trinket, so every single healer is looking to have the same trinket, where they can heal someone for 300 and sacrifice their own health. Instead, we also have the Radiant Rail Reflectors, the Ancestral Bloodstorm Beacon, okay. Unleash a delayed explosion of blood in nature, causing X amount of plague damage to all targets within 10 yards. That's actually really interesting. We also have a couple of items here that are really useful to know about. The Compound Cage Key, Curson Fighter's Uniform, and Captain Arance's Reward. I think all of these will be at the Curson's compound, by the way, in Stranglethorn Vale, and I think they will have something to do with a rune. In that case, just to show you where that is in the game, I can just take this away and show you real quick. So Curson's compound is going to be in Stranglethorn Vale when you enter the Vale, and it's like these two houses that you can see right here at the cave. So very likely there's going to be some runes attainable right here. I'm guessing for more than just one class, so keep an eye out on this place. There's 2 quests as well, I think 2 or 3 quests that you can do in this place, so don't skip those quests then, I suppose. And then that's basically all the items, where we've covered pretty much everything now. Yeah, on the item list, there's not really anything else we haven't really covered in this case. We have a couple of PvP items, which we already know about, and yeah, those are all the items coming in Phase 2 so far. I'm guessing there might be some hidden items that they haven't really talked about yet, or they haven't put into the build, but so far that is 374 brand new items that we haven't seen in the game before, that we have covered so far. We haven't really talked about every single item, but we've talked about most of them. Supply bag as well, this one right click to open, giving you supplies. Don't know where that's from, but that's really cool. Either way, let me know what you think about all the items in the comments down below. I really hope this helps you make some gold as well though, with the wayward supplies and all of the profession recipes that we saw today. There's a bunch of things you can currently buy and sell in Phase 2, which will probably guaranteed make you profit. I can't guarantee, but like very highly likely make you profit in Phase 2. So once again, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you want to know more about gold making, check out my gold making guide. The link will be down below in the video description and the pinned comment. That's pretty much what I have for you today. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you again very soon.